Hello and welcome to the BMC Quick Course series. In this quick course, I will show you how to use Change Manager for DB2 to create a full recovery baseline. This quick course is an extension of the Create Baseline Profile and Baseline Quick Course. I will not go through all the details as I did in the other quick course, so you may want to view that quick course first. We will focus on the process you will need to go through to create a full recover baseline. Change Manager allows you to create a snapshot picture of your application structure. As discussed in the other video, you only need to create a baseline profile once that identifies the scope and create baselines whenever you need them. What makes a full recover baseline different is the addition of unload data sets of tables, so you have a point of consistency for the data as well as the structures. This is a very powerful feature of the product. If there is ever a need to back out any modifications of the structures, it allows you the option to recover the data to the current time or to the time prior to the alters. For instance, if you took a full recover baseline on Sunday just before you made changes, then on Monday you realize that you need to back those changes out, you have the option to use the current data from Monday or the data from the full recover baseline on Sunday. For consistency, I will go through the entire process of creating a baseline profile, then a full recover baseline. Let's get started. From the main menu, select option 4 for baseline profiles. Enter a new baseline profile name. Just like DB2 tables, a profile name consists of two parts, the owner and the name. The combination of the two parts makes it unique. Select option 2 for create a new baseline profile. Press enter. From this panel, you can select the input to the baselines, catalog or DDL. Next, you need to provide a baseline template. The 4 pound signs will translate to numbers starting with 0001 when you take the first baseline. More details on this panel are discussed in the other video. Next, you need to enter an S next to the scope rules. Once you get familiar with this panel, you'll be able to tab across and enter the information you'd like. However, for now, enter an E for edit to have Change Manager walk you through the process. Press enter. Enter the highest level object type you'd like to capture. Notice that I placed a Y next to data. This alone does not guarantee that I will always get data. I can include or exclude objects. Place a Y next to all the dependent objects you'd like to include. Lastly, enter the name of the highest level object you'd like to capture. Since I'm starting at the database, I enter the database name next to part 1. If you are starting at the table space or table level, you will need to enter the 2-part name, owner, and object name. Foreign keys have 3-part names that make them unique. Once complete, press F3. You can see that Change Manager has filled in all your fields. If you need to add or exclude more objects, enter an I under Action and go through the process again. Press F3. You have now completed the creation baseline profile. A message in the upper right corner indicates that the profile was added successfully. Because a full recover baseline includes unloads of the data, it has to be created in batch. To do so, you will need to create a work ID. Select option 1 from the main menu. Press enter. Enter a unique name for a work ID. Just like a DB2 table, a work ID has 2 parts, an owner and the name. Next, enter 2 for the action to create a new work ID and press enter. Select option 1 for alter. Press F3. The work ID has been created. Enter option 5 for analysis. Notice that I've skipped the specification step completely. If you do not have changes, you can go through the specification phase, but it is not necessary if you are only interested in creating a full recovery baseline. Press enter. Select option 2 to create a full recover baseline. Notice also option 3. If you need to back out changes and use the data from the full recover baseline, you would use option 3 here. You also have the option to run the analysis in the foreground or in batch. Because this is a small process, I've chosen to run in the foreground. Press enter. If you know the baseline profile name you'd like to use, you could enter it here. If you're not sure of the name, you can wildcard the name as I did here, and Change Manager will display a list. Press enter. This is the list of baseline profiles that matched my criteria. Place an S under Action next to the profile you'd like to use. Press enter. Notice that Change Manager entered the default name from the profile. You can keep the name or change it to anything you would like. Press enter. Enter the data set where you'd like your work list to go. If you're using a PDS, the data set will need to already exist. Place S next to Create, Edit, and Run Analysis, as well as edit the work list, and press enter. This is the input to Change Manager. You can verify all your options here and make any desired changes if you're familiar with the parameters. Press PF3. Change Manager will always bring you back to this screen in case you changed your mind and want to make changes. Press enter here. This is the work list. BMC will always display a list of maintenance that you have applied in case you need to contact support. Press PF8. As you scroll through the work list, you'll see all the unloads of the tables in your profile. Press PF8. After all the unloads are done, the baseline will be executed. Press PF3. Your analysis is now complete. Press PF3. Now you're ready to execute the work list. From the Work ID Action menu, enter option 6 for Execute and press enter. Select options 1 to build initial JCL. You also have the option to build JCL in the foreground or in batch. If this is a large baseline profile with lots of objects, you may want to run the build in batch as Change Manager will calculate the space for unload datasets. However, this is a small demo database, so I've chosen to run in the foreground and press enter. Because we're only interested in creating a full recover baseline, we'll leave the default options here and press enter. Verify the names of where you want the execution JCL to go. The worklist dataset name should already be filled in for you. Since we've already examined the worklist, we'll skip that step and only select Build JCL and Edit JCL and press enter. This is the JCL. Verify the work ID name and the output dataset on line 125. Submit the job and press PF3. To verify the baseline is complete, from the main menu, enter option 3 for baselines and press enter. Enter the name or partial name of the baseline you are interested in. I chose to use a wildcard in order to get a list of all my baselines and press enter. Here's a list of my baselines. Notice under Recover, it has a yes. This is your indication that this is a full recover baseline. Thank you for your time. For more information on any BMC Change Manager feature, please visit the Change Manager Quick Course series.